Amazon got its own Prime delivery on October 6th. United Launch Alliance sent a pair of Amazon satellites up to low Earth orbit on board an Atlas V 501 rocket. The mission was dubbed Protoflight. It was the first in a series of dozens for Amazon's so-called Project Kuiper, a satellite internet megaconstellation. It's the tech giant's answer to SpaceX's Starlink, as well as others who boast their own satellite internet constellations. Project Kuiper's Vice President of Production Operations, Stephen Mateer, said their goal is, quote, bridging the digital divide. He spoke about the ambition during a beam signing ceremony for Amazon's new $120 million satellite processing facility at Space Florida's launch and landing facility back in July.
There are billions of people on Earth without access to reliable broadband. Even here in the U.S., you don't have to go very far from places like Washington, D.C. or Orlando, Florida to find folks with very limited options.
Amazon isn't saying much when it comes to details about the prototype satellites called KuiperSat-1 and KuiperSat-2. In fact, it's only sharing photos of the shipping crates that were used to transport the satellites down to Florida, but not the satellites themselves. To be fair, when it comes to the Starlink V2 mini satellites, SpaceX has only shared images of them in a flight stack or just after deployment. The only official images or renderings on orbit are of the version 1 variety. Switching back to Kuiper, Mateer said even before their first launch, he and his team have been moving forward with full-scale production.
We've done engineering models, we've done non-flyable builds, and we've got the prototype flights ready to go. And we have a production design too, and each one of those we've learned more and improved the process of taking into account new inventions that we've had or new innovation we've had, and our production design has got all the latest and greatest on it.
With the prototype satellites now on orbit, they can start their test campaign and see what improvements need to be made to the rest of the fleet. But just getting to launch these first satellites has been less than straightforward for Amazon. Originally, KuiperSat-1 and KuiperSat-2 were supposed to launch on board a pair of flights using ABL Space Systems' RS-1 rocket, but launch delays with the RS-1 forced Amazon to pivot. In October 2022, Amazon shifted its prototypes to launch aboard the maiden flight of ULA's Vulcan rocket. They were set to ride to space alongside the main payload, Astrobotic's Peregrine lunar lander. Even as that vehicle also faced delays, Amazon officials were saying as recently as July that they intended to launch with Vulcan, but they did leave the door open for yet another change.
Now, obviously, we work with ULA, great partners of ours, to see if there's other options too, but right now we're point of record is Vulcan.
A couple of weeks later, an FCC filing showed plans did in fact seem to be changing. It showed an Atlas V launch for late September that seemed to be supporting the prototype Project Kuiper satellites. Amazon confirmed that, yes, the Protoflight mission was now in fact flying on board an Atlas rocket. Hurricane Idalia caused another shift, though, as it pushed back the launch of a national security mission using a different Atlas V. That caused the Kuiper mission to push back to October 6th, when it finally did take off. Looking towards future launches, though, it's unclear exactly how robust each of these missions could be. Back in April 2021, Amazon bought launches aboard 9 Atlas V rockets. Mateer said that a couple dozen full production Kuiper satellites could fit inside Atlas V payload fairings on a regular flight. By April of 2022, Amazon secured 68 more launches, 12 using Blue Origin's New Glenn rocket, 18 using Arianespace's Ariane 6, and 38 on board ULA's Vulcan rocket. Mateer said these bigger launch vehicles could handle many more satellites than the 24 or so on the Atlas V.
The heavy lift obviously will take more. The New Glenn and the Vulcan will take significantly more than that.
That said, the first 2 Vulcan rockets are already spoken for between Astrobotic's Peregrine lunar lander and Sierra Space's Dream Chaser cargo spaceplane. At the same time, the Ariane 6 and New Glenn rockets have both faced their own delays and have no publicly announced first launch date. That's why Amazon plans to start launching with its full production satellites on the Atlas flights that it's already purchased. It says those launches will begin in the first half of 2024, and beta customer service will start by the end of the year. But time is ticking for Amazon to get its satellites up and running. As part of its FCC filing, the tech giant is required to both launch and begin operating at least half of its 3,236 satellites by July 30th, 2026, meaning if all goes according to Amazon's plans, its smile logo will be emblazoned across quite a few payload fairings over the next 3 years. Reporting for Spaceflight Now, I'm Will Robinson Smith.